Skimpy. Skimpy Gate has exploded. And I want to tell you about it. All right. There is a controversy regarding the person that you're seeing on the screen where a few Daily Mail folks started reporting on and criticizing this wacky MAGA reporter based off of what she wears. And this kind of reminds me of the bleach blonde, bad built butch body gate, where that bar was dropped by Jasmine Crockett. And what was my response? It was lol, but Marjorie Greene is terrible for so many reasons. Her appearance? Nah, that's not why we don't like her, right? Similar thing here. Natalie Winters is a War Room podcast reporter. That's a big compliment to call her a reporter, but she is literally a Steve Bannon correspondent and thus does just wild MAGA propaganda. So plenty of criticism there to be levied. But for some reason, the criticism erupted over her wearing quote unquote skimpy clothes, which is just totally irrelevant. And so this is my little PSA, all right? Let's criticize people based off of the right reasons. And also, this whole saga is wild. So she's a part of this new group of new media reporters who the Trump administration let into the White House, like Brian Glenn, to say, Trump, how are you so handsome today, right? These really gross, regime-friendly, propagandistic type reporters. And it's a bummer that they're going to now have all of this influence perpetuating lies. Let's focus on the lies, not the outfits or the appearance. But some of these quotes are wild, so let's get into it. Again, Natalie Winters is the propagandist, and Mediaite reports White House correspondent hits back after Daily Mail publishes weird article about her skimpy outfits. My goodness, Lord help us. This is America. Natalie Winters, the White House correspondent for Steve Bannon's War Room, hit back at the Daily Mail on Wednesday after the newspaper accused her of being famed for skimpy outfits and wanting to be a hostess at Hooters. In an article titled CNN Reporter Stuns MAGA White House Correspondent Famed for Skimpy Outfits with Very Frank Question, a guy named Alex Hammer. Why are all of these names? If I told you, if I were to tell you that I have a story for you that pertains to the names Alex Hammer and Natalie Winters, what type of story, what type of cinema do you think I would be telling you about? But Hammer describes Winters as a woman known for wearing provocative outfits to press briefings. Again, Winters is terrible. Why are you making it about what she wears? It's very strange. And yes, the label of misogynistic, it does apply here. Now, I'm not super motivated to jump to the defense of Natalie Winters, but I'm illustrating a principle here. We can be better. When they go low, we go high. To justify the description, the Daily Mail included an Instagram photo. I guess it was these photos, God forbid, of Winters wearing a shirt, a sweater, and a skirt outside the White House. Quote, they say dress for the job you want. Apparently freshly minted White House correspondent Natalie Winters wants to be a hostess at Hooters. Now, I'll show you a little bit of interviews with some of these MAGA disgraceful reporters in a second here, and that's the real important point. But how can we not read this article? It's just too juicy. The Daily Mail received backlash from readers in the comments who took issue with the newspaper's bizarre, misogynistic remarks about Winters. Yeah, I mean, fair. Whoever wrote this article should be fired immediately, wrote one reader. You say that outfit looks like a Hooters outfit? You must be blind as a bat. Another reader accused the Daily Mail of engaging in blatant regressive misogyny, while others observed that the outfit did not look skimpy to me. Yeah, again, I'm on the side of the critiques here of this author. Winters herself also hit back at the newspaper, writing, I was not stunned, destroyed him with my answer, am not famed for skimpy outfits. How many times am I going to have to say the word skimpy? The Daily Mail has published at least 7 articles about Winters in recent months, with many of them accusing the White House correspondent of wearing skimpy outfits. Okay, we get it. Skimpy, 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 skimpy. You're not a hostess at Hooters. You work at the White House. Kennedy's maternal warning. What? To the scantily clad correspondent moaning about her fashion critiques. I'm just glad that wasn't, that particular article wasn't written by Alex Hammer. White House correspondent who went viral for inappropriate outfits suffer huge career blow. What? All of these double entendres are really strange. In one article for the newspaper, authored by Fox News contributor Lisa Kennedy Montgomery, Kennedy accused Winters of posing like a face-tuned Barbie in a thigh-flashing skirt on the White House front lawn and of posting countless other thirst-inducing snaps on her social media. If my 19-year-old had an Instagram reel like yours, I'd be asking myself how I failed her. My God, Kennedy, this is intense. Kennedy also laid into Winters an unrelated article for the Daily Mail about Elon Musk's baby mama, Ashley St. Clair, accusing Winters of sashaying around the briefing room dressed like a desperate sorority pledge. Winters previously complained about the Daily Mail's obsession with her clothes in January, saying since they can't censor us anymore, they weren't censoring you, but they're trying to discredit the show by attacking my clothes, so have fun covering my wardrobe choices for the next 4 years. Do you know, okay, to any of the people levying that criticism, for one, at least the photos that were on here, I don't even understand the point, really. Or I don't agree with the point. But also, do you know how ridiculous you make yourself look? Because Natalie Winters is absolutely shameful for so many reasons. Why not just criticize him for her for those valid reasons? Like being a MAGA propagandist and running cover every single day for an authoritarian buffoon who's the president. But what you do is you make it look like the only reason people should be upset with her is because you don't like the clothing that she wears. It misses the point completely. And again, I don't even think is substantive whatsoever. But this did kind of surge into the national spotlight with a CNN report about these new MAGA reporters.
This is my first time in here.
Well, you're only probably with the most controversial White House correspondents.
And I'm actually really good at yelling because I used to be a ring announcer.
We're all biased, right? We just wear our bias, which I think is a pejorative term to begin with, on our sleeves.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. I'm pro-Trump. The questions I ask, in my opinion, are going to help highlight the good things that he's doing for America.
These are White House correspondents like you've never seen before. They're part of the Trump administration's push to bring so-called new media into the White House.
We have an individual in our new media seat today.
Cara Castronova is White House correspondent for Lindell TV.
Go to mypillow.com.
Yes, that Lindell.
Boys will be boys, and
The new media outlets have full access to the White House briefing room, where they ask questions like this.
Will you guys also consider releasing the president's fitness plan? He actually looks healthier than ever before.
Yeah,
It's working out with
in a
Bobby
world,
Kennedy.
apologies, in a world where do you know how much they're degrading journalism? What? I guess is the answer. But then you're missing it. Alex Hammer, if that's your real name. It's Hammer time. Could be, if he were going to get into a certain type of cinema, that could be his catchphrase. I'm not saying what. But instead, you're criticizing her outfits, which, by the way, the ones I've seen seem pretty stylish. They seem pretty stylish. She's stylishly terrible. What about that headline, huh? Just off the top of my head. I don't know the editor.
And is he eating less McDonald's?
I can confirm the president is in very good shape.
Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest level in this country's office.
And the characterization that what you were doing, asking Zelensky that question, that you were trolling.
No, I'm not a troll. I never have been. That was a legitimate question I just wanted to ask. It didn't mean to, get...
You're not wearing a suit right now. You're wearing some sort of, you know what? I'm not going to critique your outfit, but you were critiquing Zelensky's, okay?
Everyone fired up like they did.
Right now, the briefing room, the seats are, big networks up front. You're hoping that will be rearranged so that outlets like yourself might have a more prominent seat here?
Definitely. If it were up to me, I'd kick a lot of these outlets out. I view my role here more as sort of reporting on not so much the White House, but really the media.
Natalie Winters is White House correspondent for Steve Bannon's show War Room.
Our bias is not to be sycophants for President Trump. Our bias is for our audience, which is the working class.
Who like when we're sycophants for Donald Trump. I like that. Our job is not to be propagandists for Trump. It's to be propagandists for our audience who want us to be propagandists for Trump. You see, it's different. By the way, please do click the subscribe button if you appreciate this show. What a segment. What the heck? And if you're thinking, all right, I don't know how I feel about the subject matter, but I like the way that Luke delivers it to me, then you can click the subscribe button. Go a step further too. We do a bonus show every day and I get very fun. And you can get that by clicking the join button below on YouTube.
Of America, the people who want to put this country first.
If Trump messes up, will you guys call it out?
Yeah, and we have. I think time and time again, particularly on the vertical and issue of immigration, we are not for stapling green cards to diplomas.
We met the new media correspondents on the day Trump announced tariffs that could upend the world economic order. As other news outlets reported on the tanking stock market, on Bannon TV, they celebrated.
This is the first day where a sitting president put America's working class first, and it's a glorious day to be standing here at the White House and to be able to...
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It is a glorious day to be here at the White House where the president is doing a great job by uplifting the global economy. Is this a hostage video? Is someone making me read this? Natalie, blink twice. Okay, we've covered it. Skimpy Gate has been covered fairly. Don't make such criticisms of bad people. Criticize why they're bad, which is not their appearance or their outfits. Share your thoughts. Be careful, okay? Remember my advice. But share your thoughts in the comments.